Okay, we're going to solve 7 minus 2 parentheses x minus 1 is less than or equal to 10 minus 4 parentheses 2x plus 3. So the first error some people make is an order of operations error. We don't subtract 7 minus 2 and get 5. Do you know why? Remember, the order of operations in algebra say to multiply before you subtract. And so I need to multiply this part together before I subtract it from 7. So don't go 7 minus 2, 5, because that violates the order of operations. You know, would be a similar situation on the right-hand side. We need to multiply 4 times the parentheses and then subtract that from 10. All right, so I'm going to, first of all, simplify this by removing the parentheses. And we get 7 minus 2x. And then what's next? Negative 2 times negative 1, which is positive 2. The negatives cancel there. So careful with distribution, because those are errors I often see in intermediate algebra. People misdistributing here. Is less than or equal to 10 minus, so negative 4 times 2x is minus 8x. And then negative 4 times positive 3 is minus 12. All right, so those are properly distributed. And now I'm going to combine the like terms. And so on the left side, I've got 9 minus 2x is less than or equal to, over here, we can combine 10 and negative 12. That's negative 2 and then minus 8x. All right, so at this point, the only way to really make progress is to start moving things from one side to the other. So I'm going to add 8x to both sides to bring x's to all the one side. So I'm adding 8x in order to cancel that negative 8x. And, whoops, they both have to be plus. And notice I have a plus 8x on both sides of the inequality. And that's to keep it in balance. Inequalities, for the most part, do work like equations. You want to keep them in balance by doing the same thing to both sides. And so I have 9, and then this is plus 6x. 9 plus 6x is less than or equal to negative 2. And then I'm going to what? We're going to isolate x, so I need to subtract 9 from both sides. Subtract 9. And the 9's cancel. I'm left with 6x is less than or equal to negative 11. And we're almost done. What's left? Well, I need to solve for x by dividing by 6. So I'm going to divide both sides by 6. Do I change the inequality? No, because I divided this time by a positive number. It's only when you divide by that negative that you got to switch this around. Or multiply by a negative. Alright, so these cancel, leaving x is less than or equal to negative 11/6. Alright, so there's our answer. Some people like to write this as what, negative 1 5/6. Unnecessary. This is algebra. Improper fractions actually in some respects are kind of preferred. Because if we need to calculate with this number in a more involved problem later on, then it's already in position to calculate with as an improper fraction. Alright, so I would just leave it as negative 11/6. And in order to graph and put on a number line, I need to make some room. So let me do some erasing. By the way, you can kind of check this by letting x equal negative 11/6 in the original problem and see if the left side equals the right side. So you would check it like an equation. Unfortunately, that way of checking doesn't tell you if you've got the correct inequality symbols. Alright, so number line. Now where is the negative 11/6? I think it's right there. So I'll label that. And this time I'm going to use what, a closed circle, because it says less than or equal to. So a closed circle, and we shade to where? X is to the left of, less than, it's to the left of negative 11/6. So I shade to the left. And interval notation, X belongs to the interval going from negative infinity to negative 11/6. And I have to put a closed bracket because it's equal to. Again, always a parentheses on negative infinity. In this case, because it's equal to, also put a bracket on the other number. Don't write E, write the element symbol, and don't forget your variable. So there's the interval notation form of this inequality.